Hi, my name's Walter Lesh, and I'm the training specialist for the Rocky River Public Library. Welcome to our new video series called Online in Rocky River and Beyond. We hope you enjoy our episodes. Today's episode is about Ready Notify, powered by Code Red, the product that the Cuyahoga County Emergency Management Agency uses to send alerts of various types to all the citizens of the county or specific areas or specific municipalities. Before we go into that process of registering, I'd like to talk about the history of alerts in America, in the United States. And we've all heard alerts before. We've seen things, right? And we used to hear sirens, there used to be bells before that, and everything was pretty fine with that system of alerting people until World War II happened. And because the atomic bomb happened, and also because the Soviet Union got it, and everyone was afraid. The Cold War started. So they needed a system to alert the American public, and President Truman created something called CONELRAD, which is the control of electronic radiation, and that system worked pretty well from 1951 to 1963. There were two frequencies on the AM dial where, if alerted, you would turn to those frequencies and get your emergency information. But something else happened, called the ICBM, or Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. The Cold War continued, but we needed a better system of alerting the public. And that meant the emergency broadcast system was created. It was used from 1963 to 1997. And most of us remember the weekly or monthly test messages that we would hear first and then see on television. In 1997, they modernized a bit and called it the Emergency Alert System. Think about it, at the end of the 90s, the internet was starting to go crazy, cell phones were going crazy, and we needed more components. So the Emergency Alert System is still an important part of our alert system today. But something else happened, Hurricane Katrina. The Bush administration was criticized a bit for the response, and so President Bush signed an order in 2006 to create a new system that would integrate new technologies and all of the existing technologies. It would be better maintained, it would be more open to inputs, and the Integrated Public Alert Warning System, or IPAWS, was created. And that's where we are today. Okay, here I am on the website for Ready Notify in Cuyahoga County. It's called ready.cuyahogacounty.us. If you type that into your browser's URL bar or search box, you will get to this website and you'll be on their home page. So here's their home page. It's the Emergency Management Agency for Cuyahoga County. And Ready Notify is a big link here at the top in this banner of links towards the top. I'm going to click on Ready Notify, and that takes me to ready.cuyahogacounty.us. And here I am with the page that shows the banner. I know I'm in the right spot. And a piece of important information right below that banner is that they suggest that you put these phone numbers and text code into your contacts list. You could put it under one name called Ready Notify, or you could choose to have separate names for each of those numbers. And that way, when you get a text or when you get a call, an emergency notification call, it will tell you this is an emergency. You put whatever name you've put in there. Ready Notify is calling. Then you know to answer it. How many times have we not answered the phone because we didn't recognize the phone number? We get to preview everything these days. Okay. If you've registered before for Ready Notify, you'll probably want to click on to re-register or log in. Click here. So if you have a Ready Notify account already, they're basically transitioning from one vendor to a different vendor. So that's why you want to go in and re-register. There are some important new capabilities that Code Red gives to you. So I would re-register even if I already had an account. Even if I already got alerts on my phone, this redundancy, as I've said before, has really allowed us to get things in a multiplicity of ways, so I won't miss things. So I'm going to click on Register Now for Ready Notify. and it takes me to their registration start page where I have to choose. Do I want to create a managed account or a guest account? I'm going to choose guest account first, which doesn't allow me to go in and manage it. I basically am using it just to sign up. So if I click on go, no, continue as a guest, and then continue button on the right, it takes me to that sign up page for a guest account. I can choose whether to register an address that's a home or a business. I can put in the address and choose the state, which is Ohio, of course, here. And then I can go on and add a phone number and decide whether I want to get text messages. Right? If I sign up for choosing text messages, then I also then am presented with a box where I have to choose my mobile provider. So it's a pretty long list. So it should be yours, should be in there somewhere. I'm going to uncheck that for now. The only alert type that I cannot opt out of is emergency notifications, right? Amber alerts, presidential address alerts, and there's one more, imminent threat alerts. Those are the three main types of emergency notifications. I can choose to opt out of general notifications. If I don't need to know about hydrant flushing in my area, I can uncheck that box. Tornado alerts, severe thunderstorm alerts, and flash flood alerts are all opt-out boxes. I can uncheck the boxes if I don't want to get alerts about those. I kind of think they left them checked because why wouldn't you sign up for all those different kinds of alerts? If there were one that I would possibly opt out of, it might be general notifications. Emails, I can add another phone number. I can add an email. Email will give you an additional alert type, which is called winter storm. Right? So that one wasn't present in the phone number. They don't call you, I think. They only email you about winter storms. But all the other alert types are the same. Then there's a statement about data privacy, as well as terms and conditions. The link for it is at the end of the checkbox line, and you probably do want to go and read what the terms and conditions are. And then you have to check the box where I have read, understand, and agree to the terms and conditions. Once you check that box, you can click on Verify Information. Now that's not the end. When you click Verify Information, you're taken to a page that shows the results that you have put into the system. You want to confirm that you typed in the right address, that you put in the phone number correctly, that you got the name that you wanted to be contacted by put in there. And also, if you put in an address, we have what are called geographic information systems at work in these products, which basically can pinpoint your address on a map. I was surprised and delighted to find out that I was first surprised that I found out my push pin was like 3 houses off from my address. But I was delighted to find out I could actually drag that push pin and zoom in and out on the map until I could see my actual building for my home and drag the push pin right onto the building to fine-tune basically the geographic information for my address that I want to receive notifications about. All right. So that's a guest account. I'm going to go back and click on it again to go into register. This time I'll start a managed account. A managed account starts with a username, right? I'm going to put in a fake name for now, and then I'm going to put in a password, and like most passwords, I have to type it correctly again a second time, so that everybody has had to do this probably by now. So I've typed it correctly. It didn't give me any text in red, and I'm going to click on Continue. Okay, so just like in the guest account, I have basically a map and an address possibility. I'm going to put in the address of the Rocky River Public Library. Let's see, and if I spell it all wrong, somebody's going to be mad at me, huh? So here we go, Hampton Road and Rocky River. I think I'll change that to business so that they know that that would be my work address, right? And then the zip. So I've got that filled out, and I would come down to the phone number section, and that's where I could put in my phone number. And just like before, I could choose to get text messages there. I'll put in the phone number for the library. So that's the phone number. It doesn't get text messages, well, that I know of. And I can choose, as before, to opt out of everything except emergency notifications. I can then, since I've filled out one phone number, I could add in another phone, right? I can go on to put in more information, more email addresses. And one thing I get in the managed account is I get the opportunity to have another address monitored for alerting purposes. So if I have home and work, or home and another home, or home and mom's house in another city in Cuyahoga County, I can put in that address information there. So I would get an alert that says, mom's house is flooding. All right, it wouldn't say that exactly. But an important distinction between the guest account and the managed account is that second location that I get to put in. In addition to that, I also get something else that's very important, and that is the ability to opt into alerts for other municipal areas in Cuyahoga County. You can see they list pretty much every city and town and township that has its own municipality, so to speak, and I can get the messages for those areas as well. And if the situation changes, I can log in again because I created a managed account, and I can choose to change that or any of this information. At the top of this additional notifications list are some that have an asterisk, and I never really could find the explanation asterisk wherever it is, but I did figure out what these mean. I looked at a few sign-up pages for other areas in the country, and some had some explanations and different things. Cuyahoga County News. If I want to get Cuyahoga County News, I can check that box. If something in my house, if something about my health requires electricity, right, a machine that's plugged in or something like that, then I would check the box noting to the alerters that it's my health. My health is power dependent, or I have medication that needs to be refrigerated, right? Or I have some other access or functional needs. There's probably a way in the system that they can follow up with that. So if an alerting, if something happens where they need to evacuate an area, they know they have to send special equipment to get a person to safety. So am I visually impaired? Do I need a wheelchair? Do I have some other mobility difficulty? And so those are the sort of special interest section choices here. And then below that are all the cities in Cuyahoga County. Right. So if I have friends across the river in Shaker Heights on the other side of Cleveland, then I can check that box. You may choose to get alerts for where your important people live, your spouse, your children, things like that, so that you know at the same time, hopefully, that they do, that something has happened. And then it asks me to verify that information again. Right? And then if I want to get a confirmation email and account information sent to me, I would put in an email address right here. And then here again is the data privacy statement and the terms and conditions agreement box, where I have to check that in order to verify information. And just like with a guest account, it's going to give me a list of results, and I am going to go through that information and adjust it if need be to make sure everything is as I want it. And then you're done. And then you can start getting alerts. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you'll tune in again.